Hello, I'm Charlene Stevens. Welcome to Council Update. Today we're going to talk about the historic John P. Furber Wedding and Event Center. Joining me is Mayor Myron Bailey. Mayor Bailey, of course, people are familiar with the Furber Barn and Event Center, but one of the things that is going to happen out there that's kind of new is actually going to be the construction and addition of a bed and breakfast.
Yeah, and this is actually another opportunity to bring something unique and fun to our community. So I was very impressed with talking to both of them about this project. You know, one of the things that they're looking at doing is currently there is an older home that's directly next door. And as a historic site. The fact, though, is that when they started doing some of the digging, if you want to call it, into understanding what they need to do from a historic preservation standpoint, handicap accessibilities and all those kind of things, they come to realize that utilizing that home as it sits today for what they're envisioning, which was a bed and breakfast, was going to be more difficult. It's not, if you've been out there, it's not a real big house.
Right.
So what they're proposing to do is, and there's a few other things we'll talk about as the whole project, but what they are proposing to do is to build a standalone 14 guest room bed and breakfast, and the idea behind that is to create still that look of that historic nature. So it isn't going to be your atypical a hotel or something getting put up out there. They're going to really bring the architectural nature to this particular area that matches those era types of homes and the barn that they're using for their wedding venue. So it is exciting to see this going forward. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about some of the other things that they're doing to kind of upgrade their facility.
A few of the other things, I mean, in addition to kind of adding that bed and breakfast, which would serve primarily the wedding venue itself, but also they've done some things to kind of improve the flow and the opportunity out there. So they are going to add a second driveway access from Lamar. They're adding a wedding ceremony area on the south side of the barn. So there's kind of sometimes folks that want to have maybe an outdoor wedding and such, and have the reception indoors. So they're adding that, and also doing some modifications to their parking lot to increase the capacity and also address some stormwater issues. And for folks that have been out there for the event, sometimes the parking can be a little tight, so they're hoping to improve that as well. And then they'll be doing a little bit of additional landscaping improvements to the project for screening and for beautification and such. And so all of this is kind of a nice opportunity to see the venue grow. It's obviously a very successful venue in Cottage Grove, and we're happy to see that. And this is kind of another opportunity to add to that venue and provide kind of the guests and users of that something new in Cottage Grove. And I'm sure probably that B&B is also available when the weddings are
I was going to say, I would hope so.
So it provides another kind of opportunity for some guests for anyone in Cottage Grove who might want to use it as a guest place to stay.
Yeah, and I would just share, I mean, if anybody have met Wayne and Angie Butt, they are very passionate about what they do and about being a part of the community, and specifically on the historic side of things. That's why they redid this barn. That's why they're talking about this home. They bought another home out in Old Cottage Grove that they're looking at doing some work and different things with too, to make sure that it keeps that historical flavor. And this home that is going to be a bed and breakfast, like I mentioned earlier, I noticed here in our notes it does say the year. They're going to kind of keep it like that 1871 or 1800s look of the homes that were built back then. So it'll be very similar, only on a bigger scale, to the house that's currently out there. So I think this is just an amazing thing, and they've been very excited to keep working on some of those projects and things out in Old Cottage Grove. So I just think this will continue to kind of add and enhance the opportunities out in that particular area, especially for anybody who wants to open a business and do some of those things, because it kind of gives us our quaint downtown feel. Yeah,
it is. It's just another nice opportunity to further revitalize Old Cottage Grove, and then for also kind of a business that's been grown in Cottage Grove to continue to grow and be successful. So if you would like more information about the amendment to the John P. Furber Wedding and Event Center, contact Senior Planner John Burbank. Thank you, Mayor Bailey.
Thank you.